She's testing you right now. Every cold text, every delayed response, every time she pulls away just to see if you'll chase. Most men fail this test within seconds. They panic. They double text. They explain themselves like defendants in court. And with every desperate move, her ego grows while your value dies. But here's what she'll never tell you. The man who doesn't react owns the entire game. You're about to learn something most men will never understand. Female ego isn't destroyed through arguments or attention. It collapses in silence. It crumbles when you stop feeding it. And it dies completely when she realizes you're the only man who won't play her game. This isn't theory. This is psychology that's been weaponized against you your entire life. Until today, women operate on emotional currency. Your reaction is her profit. Your attention is her validation. Your chase is her throne. She's been taught since childhood that men will compete for her approval. Social media gave her an army of options. Modern dating handed her a crown. And somewhere along the way, she started believing her own hype. That's her ego. That's what controls her. That's what you're going to dismantle. But understand this first. You're not trying to hurt her. You're trying to wake yourself up. Because every man who chases a woman's ego is a man who's forgotten his own power. Your grandfather didn't beg for texts. Your ancestors didn't refresh Instagram waiting for her story. They built. They led. They walked away from anything that didn't serve their mission. That's the energy you need to reclaim. The modern woman has been conditioned to test masculine frame. She doesn't do it consciously. It's survival instinct. She needs to know if you're solid or if you'll crumble under pressure. When she goes cold, she's watching. When she creates drama, she's measuring. When she disrespects your time, she's checking if you value yourself. Most men fail every single test because they're too afraid of losing her. But the man who passes doesn't try to pass. He simply refuses to play. Here's the framework. 7 psychological principles that shift power back to where it belongs. With you. These aren't tricks. These aren't games. This is how you reclaim masculine leadership in a world that's trying to feminize your response to everything. Listen carefully. Apply ruthlessly. Watch everything change. First principle, emotional stillness breaks her rhythm. Women create chaos to test your center. She'll shift moods like weather patterns. Warm in the morning, cold by evening, playful on Monday, distant by Wednesday. Most men react to every shift. They mirror her energy. They try to fix her mood. They ask what's wrong 1,000 times. That's exactly what she's testing. Your emotional stability. When you stay calm regardless of her temperature, something breaks in her perception. She realizes her emotions don't control yours. That's when her ego starts questioning itself. Practice this. When she's cold, stay warm but unbothered. When she's dramatic, stay grounded. When she pulls away, stay focused on your purpose. Don't match her chaos. Don't try to rescue her feelings. Just exist in your own frame. Solid, unmoved, present. She'll either rise to meet your energy or she'll disqualify herself. Either way, you win. Second principle, silence is your strongest weapon. Every word you speak in defense lowers your value. Every explanation you give hands her power. Every time you justify your choices, you're asking for her permission to be yourself. Stop talking so much. Most men are terrified of silence because they think connection requires constant communication. But masculine energy doesn't explain itself. It simply is. When she throws shade, say nothing. When she tests you with attitude, respond with calm indifference or don't respond at all. When she tries to provoke jealousy or reaction, give her nothing to work with. This drives her insane. Not because you're cruel, because her ego can't manipulate what won't engage. Silence forces her to sit with her own behavior. It removes the emotional supply she craves. It makes her wonder what you're thinking. And that uncertainty is where her ego begins to collapse. She's used to men who react, who defend, who explain. You're going to be different. You're going to be quiet. And that quietness will speak louder than any argument you could win. Third principle, your attention must become scarce. She's drowning in attention. Her phone lights up with validation every hour. Strangers compliment her. Weak men orbit her. She's been getting free attention her entire adult life. So when you give it freely, you become one of 100. Invisible. Replaceable. The man who stands out is the man who makes her earn it. Not through games. Through standards. You don't text first every time. You don't flood her with compliments. You don't watch every story. You don't react to every post. Your attention becomes selective. Intentional. Rare. When you do give it, it carries weight. When you don't, she feels the absence. This isn't about playing hard to get. This is about actually having a life that matters more than her validation. Build something. Train your body. Develop your skills. Invest in your future. When she becomes one priority among many instead of your only priority, she feels it. And her ego can't compete with a man who's genuinely busy becoming better. Fourth principle, boundaries are non-negotiable. Most men have no boundaries. They tolerate disrespect because they're afraid she'll leave. They accept canceled plans. They forgive repeated lateness. They excuse bad behavior. They convince themselves that patience equals love. But it doesn't. It equals weakness. And women lose respect for weak men even when they claim they want sensitivity. Set clear standards. If she cancels last minute without real reason, don't reschedule immediately. If she disrespects you in public, address it once calmly or walk away. If she plays emotional games, withdraw your presence. No anger. No lectures. Just consequences. Most men threaten boundaries but never enforce them. That's worse than having none. Your word must be law to yourself first. When you say something, it happens. When you set a line, it doesn't move. She'll test these boundaries. That's guaranteed. And your enforcement will tell her everything about whether you're a man worth respecting or another ego-feeding machine. Fifth principle, mystery holds more power than certainty. She doesn't need to know everything. Your plans, your past, your emotions, your schedule. Most men overshare because they think transparency builds trust. But masculine energy doesn't explain its every move. You're not hiding anything. You're simply not volunteering everything. When she asks where you were, a simple response is enough. When she wants to know your plans, give the outline, not the details. When she tries to decode your emotions, let her wonder. This isn't manipulation. It's preservation of your inner world. The moment she knows everything about you, the mystery dies. And with it, her curiosity. Keep parts of yourself to yourself. Stay slightly unpredictable. Not through lies, but through selective sharing. She should feel like she's always discovering new layers. That keeps her ego from getting comfortable. Comfortable women don't chase. Curious women do. Sixth principle, walk away before you become bitter. The ultimate expression of self-respect is your ability to leave. Not as a threat, not as a tactic, but as a genuine willingness to prioritize peace over presence. Most men stay in situations that destroy them because they're afraid of being alone. They tolerate disrespect. They accept breadcrumbs. They hope she'll change. She won't. Not until she sees you're serious. And you'll never be serious until you build a life that makes her optional. Work on yourself so hard that losing her wouldn't break you. Develop purpose so strong that her validation becomes irrelevant. Create abundance so deep that scarcity thinking dies. When you reach that state, something shifts. You stop chasing. You stop needing. You stop tolerating behavior that costs you peace. And she feels it immediately. Women have radar for men who can't walk away. They test those men endlessly. But the man who can leave doesn't get tested the same way. He gets respected. Seventh principle, your mission must eclipse her presence. This is the one most men miss. You can learn every tactic, master every technique, understand every psychological principle. But if she remains your primary focus, you've already lost. Because ego only exists where attention flows. If your attention is constantly on her, her ego grows. But if your attention is on building something bigger than both of you, her role becomes supporting character instead of main character. That shift is everything. Stop making your relationship your identity. Stop making her approval your goal. Stop organizing your entire life around her schedule and moods. Build your career. Develop your craft. Strengthen your body. Deepen your knowledge. Expand your network. Create something that outlasts the relationship. When she sees you're committed to a vision that exists beyond her, two things happen. Her ego shrinks because she's not the center, and her respect grows because ambition is attractive. The man with purpose doesn't chase women. Women chase men with purpose. That's not philosophy. That's biology. Everything you just learned works, but only if you execute. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. You can watch 100 videos, read 1,000 articles, study every dating strategy on earth. None of it matters if you don't change how you move. Starting today, hold your frame when she tests you. Stay silent when she provokes you. Make your attention scarce. Enforce your boundaries. Keep your mystery alive. Be ready to walk away and build something bigger than her validation. That's how masculine power returns. Her ego isn't the enemy. Your need for her approval is. The moment you stop needing anything from her, you stop feeding what controls her. And when her ego loses its food source, it starves. Not because you're cruel, because you're focused on becoming the man who doesn't need to destroy anyone's ego to feel powerful. You simply live at a frequency where her games don't reach you. This is your wake-up call. The modern dating world has convinced you that chasing is normal, that explaining yourself is respectful, that tolerating disrespect is patience, that giving endless attention is love. All lies. Masculine energy doesn't chase. It attracts. It doesn't explain. It demonstrates. It doesn't tolerate disrespect. It removes itself. And it doesn't give attention freely. It makes presence a privilege. That's the man women actually want. Not the one who says he's high value. The one who lives like it. Everything changes when you change. Her behavior was never the problem. Your reaction to it was. Fix your frame. Master your emotions. Protect your energy. Value your time. And watch how quickly the dynamic shifts. She'll start chasing your attention instead of you begging for hers. She'll start earning your presence instead of you proving your worth. She'll start respecting your boundaries instead of testing your limits. Not because you manipulated her, because you finally respected yourself enough to demand it. You've been fed lies your entire life. That being nice gets you love. That patience gets you respect. That giving more gets you appreciation. The red pill truth is simpler and harder. Respect comes from standards. Attraction comes from challenge. Love comes from leadership. And all of it starts when you stop feeding egos and start feeding your purpose. If this hit different, if something inside you just clicked, then you're ready for what comes next. Everything you just heard is entry level. The real depth exists beyond this video. Subscribe to Stoic 95 right now. Not because I asked, because you're finally ready to stop losing and start leading. This channel doesn't teach you how to get women. It teaches you how to become the man women can't manipulate. Subscribe to Stoic 95. This is where boys become men and men become untouchable.